back live with the last semifinals match of the PA Collegiate Speed Chess Championship. We have Jeffrey Kunnel from Temple University playing against Cory Ives from the University of Pittsburgh. This is going to be an awesome, awesome match. We just finished our previous semifinals match. Probably about 30 minutes ago was when the post game interview was finished, and we're running it back. We're running it back, and as you can see, we have on the screen there the first time control timer. And let me go. I'm gonna insert rewind in a second. Firstly, let me fix the formatting. There you go. This is more acceptable. Okay, so instant rewind. What happened in the game so far? Jeffrey played knight f3 and d4, and they're playing some sort of Slav. Yeah, this is just a Slav, and Cory has this nice clamp on e4 with the pawns, and Jeffrey is not castled, and he's saying, "Yo, attack, yo, attack," and yeah, so it looks like Jeffrey's on a very strong start. Once again, this huge clamp on e4. I wonder if a knight is going to go to e4 at some point, but counter to this knight going to e4, there's this knight on e5 that's very, very strong. See, knight a5. Yeah, that makes sense. And maybe this knight is going to go to c4. Probably, yeah, maybe not yet. Maybe so. I'm not too sure. Maybe a6 to kick the queen around a little bit. Super clear. This pawn isn't hanging or anything. So yeah, a6, maybe b5, and then maybe knight c4. Jeffrey has to commit his king at some point, but maybe not. Maybe just king f1. There's no light squared bishop, so don't have to worry about any pins for the light square bishop, and the center is relatively locked. No pawn breaks in the center. Maybe your king can just live in the center forever. Very interesting approach by Jeffrey here. I expect Jeffrey to have studied against Cory's openings a non-zero amount. Expect him to really perform really well in the opening against Cory in these first few games at the very least. Not sure how much preparation Cory has done in himself. This, this is not the most serious event. We got a little bit of money, $50 for the winner, for the PA Collegiate Champion, and then some plaques. So not the most serious event. So I don't know how much time Cory and Jeffrey have put in studying, but I'm sure it might be a non-zero amount. That's pretty reasonable. But if it was also 0, that would also be reasonable. Okay, so going back to the game. So it feels like Cory is just long-term just going to be worse just because of all of these pawn islands. Both bishops aren't that great, although Cory could take at any point, but then his king is really weak. So he probably never wants to trade off his dark square bishop for Jeffrey's knight. Probably not. Jeffrey is the reigning favorite as of now, but Cory has reached 2,700 chess.com lists before, and more importantly, this is 5+1. Nobody plays 5+1 when it's on, for their own, like on their own will. No one does. So I do not expect for people to be prepared for anything. Okay, and let me just go. Okay, doing that. Yeah, let's revisit this. So they traded off knights, but Jeffrey has everything beeline towards Cory's king. Maximum pressure. Um, could sacrificing the rook be an idea? Wait, I actually want to revisit that. Could that be an idea? Rook takes, king takes, bishop e3, but then f6. Maybe that's why it's not good? Yeah, okay. Anyways, back to the game. But now Cory has this connect 3 here. Very strong pawn chain. It's hard to attack this a6 pawn. And it's guarded by the queen anyways. So now Jeffrey has turned his attention away from the king side and is moving his pieces back towards the center. Maybe d5 is an idea, but that's why Cory prevents d5. And this is just an uncomfortable position for Cory. We're seeing an early, like Cory's being tested very early on here. Can you defend an unpleasant position? Cory's going to try to argue yes, and Jeffrey's going to try to argue no. Now we're back to g1. This is very tricky. This is tricky. This is like I think he might have to be always calculating. You know, rook takes g7 at some. But once again, oh, he goes back. Like, yeah, I go back, you go back. Back, I go back. Maybe bishop f6 at some point to trade off the rooks. Okay, bishop f6 would blunder checkmate 1 now, so he's not allowing that. What do you even do? Huh, what do you do? f6 now? Queen b7 here. Sneaking behind the black pawns, infiltrating. I don't see anything super obvious though yet. Anything. It is very unpleasant, but I don't see any sort of win or anything for Jeffrey. Like I said, these isolated pawns are really annoying for black here. And let's and your notification there. Okay, and Jeffrey's gonna try to make progress. He's gonna try to push P, push the pawns slowly and surely. I guess once e4 happens, then d5 can happen maybe. And Cory is saying, "Hey, now we're gonna trade off more pieces. Now we're going to a queen ending. And now I have weaknesses, but hey, you have weaknesses too." And yeah, queen a3, defending everything, and Jeffrey might not have anything to show for all of his hard work here. His hard work on getting a good position, but Cory defensive skills. Jeffrey doesn't have that much. Nothing great, I don't think, because there's a fork. Like this queen is attacking 2 pawns here. The black king is never safe, but honestly, Cory might be the one going for a win here if Jeffrey doesn't repeat. I do expect Jeffrey to repeat in this position, and the Cory doesn't really have any options here. Jeffrey does have a good time advantage, but this is a simple endgame that Cory can play, and sure enough, people that petition, that's a draw. Okay, so the first game ends peacefully for these 2 players, and let's start another game in a second here. Okay, yep, just lagging a bit for me. Okay. And let me turn down this audio. Okay, perfect. So this was a Nimzo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Nimzo. Let's instant rewind here for a second. Okay. So okay, we see black did give up one of their bishops, but black had really great control of this e4 square, and white is lagging behind in development. So very solid setup by Jeffrey here. Knight e2, very interesting. I wonder that to me, knight e2 implies that long term there might be f3 and e4. It'd be f3 now, honestly. Why not? Any issues in f3, then and if bishop h4, bishop h5, then g4, and now we win a pawn because of the queen and bishop battery. So this is definitely a pleasant position by Cory here. Very pleasant position. But nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Yeah, queen b6, eyeing this diagonal. There's an x-ray on this diagonal with the king and the queen there. But so far, this e3 pawn could be a target, but not so easy to target it though. This bishop on e6, not very impressive. Not a very impressive bishop. And okay, well, interesting. Rook ab1 there. Rook ab1, giving black saying like, okay, you take all the open file. I literally don't care. I'm gonna play b5 at some point, and minority attack style. I'm gonna weaken your queenside pawns, and you got weaknesses, bro. You gotta handle. So bishop f2, very normal move. And now, so bishop on f2 guards the d4 pawn, supporting a potential e4 pawn push at some point. Knight, knight c3. It seems like a nice move. Guarding the a2 square. So if the knight wasn't put on c3, then maybe after b5, rook a2, and it's a bit uncomfortable maybe, but maybe it's also totally fine for uh for for white. I mean, and let me just reload it. Okay, rook fd1, and okay, Cory. Well, Jeffrey's got this clamp on the c file, and very beautifully, he get a knight to c4. And yeah, this is very nice. Jeffrey got what he wanted. Although Cory does have this extra space and this beautiful battery. And oh my gosh, yeah, Cory's gonna be rolling down the board. F4, F5, F6, F5 now. Do it, yeah. And do you even play F6 now? Maybe not. Maybe you wait a bit. But you have this beautiful, beautiful center here. Wow, Cory's has a very, very pleasant position. And he sees a knight on c4. He snaps it off. He doesn't even want it to live for just a second, and now he's preparing it. He's ready. And if Jeffrey plays f6, that means Cory's gonna play e6. And Jeffrey is suffering from a lack of oxygen in this position. He's suffocating, being suffocated on the king side. Cory's got lots and lots of space here. Very nice position for him. And rook b8 by Jeffrey. Yes, just targets the pawn, prevents this rook from moving. And f6 by Cory, very natural move. And yeah, this h pawn is gonna be weak, and hey, Jeffrey puts his knight on g6 now, but believe in it. I do not believe in it. Queen d2 maybe. Target this pawn. Whoa! Sacrificing the bishop and going queen and then rook. Maybe rook. Whoa, what? Maybe you trade? Oh my gosh, the rook! There's a rook there. Oh, that's a fork. Loose pieces. Cory instantly spots the tactic. Loose piece in this position. But hey, he's got to deal with a counterattack. This knight and queen are attacking the g2 pawn, and after rook f2, there's also knight d3. We got the bastion. We got the very, very nice piece on d3. You get it? But actually, if rook f2 and knight d3, then actually there might even be a move queen a7, attacking the rook, attacking the bishop, but then maybe rook d8 defends the bishop, and it's okay. Um, all of this knight on c3 isn't very impressive. Okay, queen a2 is Cory's preferred defense here. Maybe queen f2 and queen g3, or maybe they could all be in the cards. Oh, rook f2, knight h3. That's the idea. So actually, you cannot go rook f2 here because of knight f3. But now, wow, g3, pushing a pawn in front of your own king, a little bit scary. This knight is not hanging because of this pin, but it could soon be hanging, potentially. I kind of want to go knight d3 here and say, wow, I have a great knight. But maybe knight d3 and rook takes f7, and I have no idea what's happening here. It looks a bit scary for everybody. But Cory's king is a little bit weak. Like knight d3 and queen e3. Maybe you play bishop h3 first. But dicey. A little bit dicey. I would love to play rook 8 or bishop h3 immediately. And yeah, that's what Jeffrey does. Play bishop h3. And this could get bad news bears very, very quickly if black has a couple of tempos. But luckily for Cory, he doesn't have 2 moves in a row. And I just take the pawn, I imagine, maybe. Hard to go wrong with that. You could also go queen f2, guarding the d4 pawn, and adding more pressure along this f file. That also seems pretty reasonable. Cory's up in exchange, so slow and steady make progress. Also, after queen f2, you could also rotate the knight back, go knight e2, defending the d4 pawn even further. So that feels weird. Bishop g4. But Cory knows he has a response to that. Rook double up. Or queen f2. Actually queen f2. Then bishop takes rook. And you might not want that. Cory might be trying to find some sort of checkmate here. For obvious to me. What's the best way to continue? Just the fact that Jeffrey's king, or Cory's king is perpetually weak here is just a bit. It's a bit annoying. A bit annoying to say the least, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess I might be tempted with queen a7, so I could take on f7 with the queen. That's also a possibility. Queen f2, like I said, it feels so natural. I actually guess the rook is hanging. As doubling up on the f file is the most natural way to play. Now you can play queen f2, or you can play queen a7. Queen f2 makes a lot of sense. Defend the d4 pawn, pressure. Very pleasant position. Very, very pleasant position indeed for oh my gosh, knight d8, man. Yeah, that's so ugly. And wow, nice move by Cory. b5, loosening up the pawns here. And yeah, it's easy. This is so easy for Jeffrey. Now last game it was Jeffrey who was asking all the questions. Now it's Cory. Cory is asking all the questions. Hey, how are you gonna defend this? How are you gonna defend that? And yeah, knight takes d5. I expect that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Maybe knight e7, knight f5. Not sure yet. Um, Jeffrey does have these passers. These 2 passers on the queen side. Um, I I don't think it'll be relevant. I doubt it'll be relevant, but we don't know. And wow, we see Cory again pushing his pawns, pushing his center pawns. This is the Cory special, pushing center pawns down in your face. And wow, Jeffrey just resigns. He's like, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. That's what to play this position on. Jeffrey just resigns, and they're gonna start a brand new game. And wow, now Jeffrey's playing e4. He played. What was the first game they played? Wasn't it like a Nimzo? I forgot what. It was like a Slav. It was like knight of 3. It was like knight of 3, like d4 or something like that. Yeah. So Jeffrey did not play e4, but now Jeffrey is, and he's exploring. He's exploring the Sicilian, or against playing against the Sicilian, I should say, and very typical closed Sicilian stuff where black has a bishop pair, but has these double pawns, and just very typical stuff. Although knight g4 is actually really annoying here. Usually, it's not as good as it is right now. Wow, you have to give up You really have to give up your dark squared bishop like that. It feels like black should be better now with the bishop pair. It feels like black should be better, but not super, not super easy, I suppose. Okay, Cory going for a typical idea, which is bishop a6 and c4. Although in this case, I don't think it's that good. Because if like c4, I can always play d4. d5 and c5, d5. I actually don't think it's very good here. And this bishop is still locked away on a6. I think Jeffrey should be pretty happy here. E6. Look at all these light squared pawns. Man, this bishop. Yeah, actually, huge center here. Jeffrey should be very happy with his position, actually. Um, yeah, why wouldn't she be? Ah, that was the idea. That was the idea of e6 to play c5. But now black has these permanent weaknesses with these two double isolated c pawns here. Not super easy. Super easy. That should be a nice move by Cory, saying, "Hey, I'm just gonna double your pawns, bruh." And Jeffrey is, wow, interesting. Very nice. Look how superfluous these knights are in a great way. This knight is attacking c5 pawn, and if bishop f8, we can play knight f6 check, forcing the king to move, and then winning the bishop on winning a pawn on d5. And yeah, I do not envy Cory's position here. This does not look very pleasant. Not look very pleasant at all. Hey, an interesting move. I like it. I like it by Cory. Yeah, saying that like, I want to attack your weaknesses. Um, you can win this. You can win my bishop, but I want my work activity, please, please and thank you. And wow, yeah, Cory saying weakness it my double c pawns. What double c pawns? I have no idea what you're talking about. And he liquefied. Yeah, liquefied his queenside pawns. And yeah, I mean, if Cory can trade off this b pawn for his a pawn, then it's awfully close to a draw. However, this knight that's coming to d6 is quite the good knight, and actually, I think Cory is worried about rook takes b3, rook d8, bishop f8, and maybe a move um like knight f6. Although Cory goes into it, he is unafraid. This is scary. And I think Cory's just going to calculate if king h6 works. Does king h6 work? That is the question. And Cory says, I'm just going to repeat moves. I'm just going to repeat moves. And actually, if Jeffrey doesn't repeat, then like this bishop could get to c5. And wow, that's the move Jeffrey plays. And like this, your bishop is not going out with tempo. So if you do want your bishop to move, you're going to be in trouble here. And okay, yeah, of course, Cory is happy to repeat. He has a very unpleasant situation. Definitely being very good at being patient. I would probably play h5 here. Oh, but even if you play h5 and king h7, then knight f6 is still annoying, and there's still not much you can do about it. So Cory just stuck. Wow, Jeffrey doing a really great job of just squeezing here. Whoa. I don't understand the point of that, of putting your knight on that square. I guess the point is you can still go back to e8 with the knight, and then king g8 still. I guess, yeah, I guess so. And yeah, yeah, very funny. This 98 King G8, like it's very funny. It's very funny how locked these pieces are, um, and how the black work is just off in La La Land doing its own thing. Very funny. Very interesting position actually. Okay, it looks like a draw is the most likely outcome. King G8 is a default, right? Wait, is that? I think it is. Yeah, and another draw. Jeffrey is having a tough time here converting good positions. I think that says a lot about Cory's defensive skills. Um, but yeah, very well done by Cory. Um, yeah, hats off to him for defending that, and yeah, just realizing that King G8 and King G7 is the way to go. I'm gonna blow my nose. I'll be right back. Okay. So it looks like what is happening in this position? I'm so confused. Let's instant rewind. Okay, so a Slav and okay, G6 trying to play Bishop F5, and Bishop F5 is played. And what? H3 G4. This is cool. Epic queen stare. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Brindoni buckets. Yeah, epic queen. Yeah, the very common epic queen stare. No one, neither queen wants to blink. Oh wait, I'm on. Okay, then H5. The rook. Oh my gosh. Yeah, neither side is going to castle here. Now B7, and let me catch up to the players here. Okay, black blinked first, and now. Wait, oh my gosh, there's more moves. Okay, now we're up to date. Now we're up to date. And what is happening? Okay, yeah. So Jeffrey has a clear plan of doubling up rooks on the H file, and this H pawn might not be so easy to defend. Meanwhile, White isn't generating that much on the queen side with these doubled B pawns. They do restrict Black's movements of their own pawns, but Black's position on the queen side is very, very solid. So now the attention is going to be on the king side. That's Jeffrey's claim here, and he's doing a good job. I think he's doing a good job here. Um, how do you defend this pawn? Like, how do you? Like, genuinely, you have to come. If you're Cory here, you have to come up with some sort of counterplay. I wish you could castle and play rook h2 at the same time. Then you could like double up and defend. But even that's really passive. You don't want to do that. Okay, so Cory opts for king e2, just connecting his rooks. And I think his claim is, hey, I can't defend that h4 pawn, dude. You got me. And so now Cory's going to be playing. He's going to have a defensive task once again. Once again, Cory is defending. So can Jeffrey finally get a game where he's better and convert? That's going to be the tough part here, because Cory's going to be staunchly defending at all costs. Rook a3 is a move, maybe to play rook b3, but then bishop c8, and you still don't have enough attackers on this b7 pawn. So this looks kind of rough as a position to play with. I mean, like at the same time, like Cory's remaining pawns are very solid. Like, how do you make progress here as black? Bishop e2 and knight could have defended the pawn. That was defendable. Oh wait, really? Instant rewind. Bishop e2, rook h8, and knight f3. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that was defendable. That was defendable. So, but instead of that, Cory opts out. Cory says, like, I'm not gonna do that. I don't know if he missed that idea. It's possible he did, but maybe he just didn't want to play so passively. I don't know. I don't know. But as a result, Jeffrey is up a pawn, and admittedly, this bishop is in jail, but not for long. B6, very nice move by Jeffrey. But still, this knight has this nice c5 square. But even if the knight does get to c5, this bishop that is 3 squares away from the knight is doing such a good job, of like defending everything. So not so easy, not so easy. But okay, knight d3 check. What are you even doing? How do you even defend? 19. Yeah, King C2 first, and then 93. This is makes a lot of sense. Oh man, look at this bishop on H1 locked away. Oh man. Oh, but he's trying to reroute it. Very nice idea. Wow. I expect Jeffrey to play F5 at some point or F4, and I assume Cory will not take the pawn. That's my guess. I'm not sure. Okay, maybe knight a4 check and knight c5, and the bishop is no longer on c8. So maybe bishop c8 is an option, but then bishop f1, and now Cory is making progress in defending. Um, I would probably still play it. Knight a4, knight c5 looks pretty natural. And Jeffrey is up on time. I think he's having that. I think. Whoa, what? Really? I don't. I don't understand that move. I don't understand either of these players' moves. Like, I. Their play is beyond me. Oh, but now Cory is in an opposite colored or same colored bishop ending, but just down a pawn. And oh my gosh, surgical! Look at that surgical move. Bishop f1, g3, g2 is on the way, but wait, g3, bishop here, g2, king f2, e5, and if you trade everything, then bishop. Was that still winning if he did play g3 and g2? I actually am not 100% sure. But Jeffrey is patient. He has tons of time. He has lots of time. So I guess Jeffrey is just opting to wait a bit, which is a reasonable decision to make. And okay, yeah, Corey's in a deep think here. Um, because I think he. Oh wow, he got a better version now. G2, G3, and the bishop isn't even covering it. The bishop's not even on that diagonal. Yeah, I think he realized not. I think he definitely realizes that position is losing, and once again, Cory is on a defensive task, and Jeffrey can play this position forever. Like, um, and bishop b3 at the right moment. Now bishop b3 kind of looks kind of tempting. Yeah, bishop b3, and if bishop takes, king takes, and king takes a2, king takes b2, and that's got to be losing. That's just simply losing, right? My gosh, Jeffrey's so patient. King c4 now, but then bishop takes this pawn, so it's not so easy, not super easy, no. Okay, so he does end up taking the pawn. Wonder, yeah, I wonder if that was the best way to. Sure. Not sure if that was the best way to do it. But it's always tough. These endgames are always tough because it's like you can't sacrifice. No, no, no. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to sacrifice a piece. But it's not super easy to make progress. Oh my goodness. Wait. Oh my gosh, it's a fortress. If king takes, then bishop takes, and king takes, and it's a draw. Wait, what? Oh my god. Cory held. Again. Dude. Jeffrey is playing against a brick wall. Jeffrey's got to be kicking himself in the head a little bit for that one because I'm sure he really thought that not thought. He must have known that it has to be winning. Like same colored bishop ending when you're up a pawn is like, oh man, yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Man, Cory is just holding out. Reminds me of that one song. Um, what's the one song? Yeah, it's like hold it, gotta be strong, you gotta be fast. It reminds me of that song. Cory's holding out for a hero. But I cannot believe the position that he's defending. The position that he's defending is tremendous. And oh my gosh, wait, is Cory's getting his knight trapped? No. Wait, yeah. G4 is a. Oh wait, no. This pawn is defended. The G4 square is defended by the oh, knight G7 is knight E6, but it has a good purpose. The knight's going to E6. That's wild. That the knight's journey to E6 is amazing. And Cory's doing Cory stuff. He's maneuvering. Like Jeffrey's got to beat Cory twice. Like you got to be winning against him, and then you got to win against him again. Like you can't win just once. Okay, Queen E8. I don't even know what that does. I think Queen F7, and maybe in some cases your queen is good guarding the G6 pawn. I don't know. I don't know. But honestly, yeah, it's not so easy to make progress for Jeffrey either. Um, super easy. Super easy. I don't even know what you do here. You could play G4. Maybe that's what Jeffrey is considering. G4 here. If Jeffrey tries to prepare with Rook G1, I wonder if he could just. Probably not. You probably don't want to play Rook G1 and H4. You probably don't want to do that. But maybe. But maybe. Or H5, I mean. Okay. Yeah, D4 is a very principled move. Expanding in the center. Yeah, and Cory's bishop pair isn't really impressing anyone right now. This bishop doesn't seem very good. This bishop doesn't seem really good. Um, Rook D2 here. It's unlikely that a move like E6 would work, right? E6, bishop takes, bishop takes, king takes. Yeah, okay, no, there's no tactics there. Anyways. Oh, that's just a pawn. Oh my gosh, Cory just blundered. That was just a pawn. To be fair, it's hard to move any piece. Maybe queen f7. But now Cory's just down a pawn. And yeah, that's king h8, I guess. And you or king h7. And if rook takes, then rook takes. King h7. But then a desperado? What's happening here? Queen e8? As if rook takes, rook takes. And I guess it's fine for then I guess it's fine for white. Or for black, I mean. Interesting. And if like rook takes bishop, then this rook takes, and there's no follow up. Oh my gosh! Instant rewind. Queen takes. Okay. Yeah, and now it's just two bishops versus knight and bishop, which may not be the most pleasant thing for Jeffrey here. I wonder if there was. I wonder what the better move was instead of trading queens there. But I don't know. I couldn't find it. Okay, G5, interesting. They're just liquidating. They're just liquidating pawns and everything. They're both playing pretty fast too. There honestly might be another game because Jeffrey resigned early in that one game. There honestly might be a sixth game for this first time control, which usually is just 5. Usually it's just 5. Can do this. Alrighty. All right, let me turn my attention back to the game here. So once again, they're still maneuvering. Oh, whoops! I went to the very end, very beginning, and they're just both leaving the pawn tension. Neither of them wants to take. But now Jeffrey's saying, "Hey, I'm threatening to win a pawn now, bud. You got to do something." Although actually, if you just try to win a pawn, you lose this e5 pawn. So I feel like the pawns should be liquidated pretty soon. Actually, the more I look at it. Yeah. I guess Cory doesn't want to take because after Jeffrey takes back, this h6 pawn is perpetually weak. And it's funny how symmetrical these pawns are. They make a big trapezoid. I like trapezoids. Just in general. And Jeffrey, a fan of the pre-moving. Wow. The question is, yeah, and Cory's just going to try to liquidate here and trade off all the pawns. Jeffrey is up a pawn. Jeffrey is up a pawn, but maybe not forever. And we've seen Cory just defend, 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 defend. So, um, oh no! Wait, he's just losing. He's gonna be 2 pawns down. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. Jeffrey might not be able to convert with 1 pawn, but with 2 pawns, Jeffrey's got this. And Cory's gonna try his best to hold. I expect this to be the last game in the first time control. Jeffrey's gonna try to even the score here, heading into the T+1. This is kind of bad news bears for Cory, maybe. I think Cory would love to be up a game going heading into the second time control, but it's looking less and less likely here. Jeffrey needs to be patient, and he's going to convert this game. And look at these pawns, impossible to attack. Impossible to attack with your bishop. There's absolutely nothing to do, and he just resigns. We're gonna see a 6th game. We're gonna see a 6th game of the 5+1 portion. Cory resigns. Wow, what a great! I think it's a great moment to do. Especially if you think your chances are better in the longer time controls rather than the shorter time controls. Maybe resigning is the best move because what else? You're not really gonna suffer. Maybe Cory just resigned because there's nothing to do, but it could also be strategic. It could also be strategic. Okay, let's instant rewind here. Let's instant rewind. B3 and double fianchetto system. And okay, this is the current position. And this bishop on b2 isn't impressing anyone. And this is an interesting way to play. Maybe e5, the Cory special. The Cory special. Actually, yeah, I say e5. Where's the knight going, actually? I guess maybe knight h5, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Okay, knight h4, and now e5. Now e5, and oh my gosh, look at this knight being dominated by this pawn, and Corey's got this extra space in the center. This bishop isn't particularly impressing anyone, but that's fine. King h1, yeah, okay, okay. So how is Jeffrey gonna make progress here? F6 is a move you really want to play. It's just to break apart this connect four, but doesn't look that easy to do. And wow, look at this. Knight on c7, knight on f8, guarding the e6 and the g6 squares. Kind of amazing to see. And oh my gosh, this clamp. This clamp. And beautiful play by Cory here. Very straightforward. Very smooth play. Wow. And if black does take, then oh man, that d4 square is juicy for the knight. And maybe even knight b5 to d6. Cory's got the activity. Cory's got the space. And this is look at this looking pretty good. If you're a Cory fan, it's looking pretty good for you. Absolutely. Um, if Rook a5 earlier, then maybe b4 because the pawn's pinned because of the knight would have been a move. If a Rook a5 instead of knight d7 earlier. And okay, b4 now. That feels weird just because of c4. Like that feels weird. Like now black has their own connect four, but I guess they can't push to d5 yet. Oh, I see. The idea is that you get a nice square on d4. That's one of the ideas behind that. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, maybe even knight b5 and knight d6, honestly, which would make sense, and that's why Jeffrey prevents knight b5. And this would be a very tragic turn of events if you're a Cory fan. Um, if he loses back-to-back games here, um, almost ending the 5+1 portion up one, but then ending the 5+1 portion down one. That would be that's a tough turn of events there, but happens. We're preparing here. Back this. And oh, I gotta do this. And okay. Yeah, definitely an unpleasant position for Cory. Wow, Queen D8 is just classy. Defending your knight like that. Is it classy or is it just weird? I actually don't know. Queen D8 feels weird, but maybe it's actually really. Queen G2, I will not begin to understand that move. Is the idea Queen H3, Knight G5? Wow, but Knight G5, Knight F8? That's wild. And Jeffrey does have these connected passers ready to roll down the board. Wow, this isn't so easy. Wait, this actually isn't so easy for Cory. Wow. At least he forced Knight F8, I guess. But these passers are going to get rolling eventually. Queen H4, I don't see the idea behind that. I don't. And yeah, Jeffrey being very patient here. Very calm, very collected. Let's just attack the pawn. And hey, bro, I got two connected passers. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I do not envy. Two pawns like that. Rook f3. Oh man, this is just so unpleasant. Can't move any pieces as white. Okay, f6. An interesting move. Don't know how to feel about it. White's got plenty of well, I'm gonna say black has plenty of defenders around the king. This knight on f8 doing God's work, controlling h7 and g6 very, very well. And reminder, this is the last game of the first time control. So after this, they might take a 5-minute break. Oh my goodness, this is so cool! Look at how many G pawns there are. There's so many G pawns. And wait, what? But once Queen H8 happens, King F7, and I guess there's nothing. The knight on knight D4 controlling F3, so there's not much to really do. Pawns are rolling. Wow. Attacking the pawn, but more like guarding the C2. Wait, why can't you just take? Why can't you just take? What's the issue with just taking the pawn on C2? Something to it? Oh, G4 hangs? Oh, wait, Cory's down a piece. I didn't even realize that. All right, looks like Jeffrey, as long as he can hold his nerves here, looks like he'll be ending the 5+1 portion up a point in the match. So good news for the Jeffrey fans. But we'll see. Cory had a great start. Or I guess depending on your viewpoint, he did get a lot of bad positions. Cory has definitely had way more bad positions than Jeffrey. But Cory's only down a point in the match, assuming he loses this one. So it's not so easy. Not so easy. But he's doing a good job of creating counterplay here. And it's not so easy for Jeffrey to make progress. And Cory has had some good saves, admittedly. So I'm interested in how he deals with this now. Okay. So I guess Jeffrey's planning to meet Rook A7 with Rook D7. And the king is stuck on the back rank. The knight is stuck on the back rank. Wait, how is Jeffrey supposed to make progress here? Like that, I suppose. Oh no. Okay, I was gonna say Rook F5, Rook B7, the Knight D7 guards the back rank. Wait, why is this actually so tough? Oh my gosh. How do you make progress? And Jeffrey just decides to sack. He's like, I can't make any progress. I'm just gonna sacrifice my knight for 2 pawns. And now this should be an easier draw, but it's not super clear. It's not super clear. How do you King G5? Just play King G5 maybe? And yeah, and oh my gosh, Cory only has 3 seconds. He's gotta make moves fast. Okay, go back. Oh dude, he's gotta make sure not to flag here. This should be a draw, but Jeffrey's gonna be pushing, and he's gonna keep asking Cory questions here. but it should be fine. Cory shouldn't flag here. You gotta move, man. Oh my gosh, that's stressing me out. That's stressing me out. And okay, wow, he's able to. Okay, Cory's not flagging. He's doing a good job here. And okay, his king is forced back, but it should still be good. Rook there, that makes sense. And Jeffrey has gotten his king. He's making progress. Oh my gosh, Jeffrey's been making progress here. Oh no! And flag. Alrighty, looks like the players are taking their break. A heartbreaking loss for Cory, but oh my god, dude, that guy is literally playing until the last drop, and he had it. He had like objectively, according to the computer, this is a draw. Like, and Cory was able to finagle his way out of that losing position, but it just came down to time. Of course, like he had a losing position. That's why he spent. That's why he was forced to spend so much time. But I mean, the resourcefulness from Cory is astounding, and I don't know how you feel. Like, if you're Cory here, do you feel good that like you're able to hold so many of these bad positions, or do you feel like, man, I keep getting bad positions, this sucks? I don't know how you feel. I don't know. I don't know what's the correct way to feel at all. But maybe it's not so easy. Like, for example, king e4 in this last game, then like then king h6, and then g5. But you still have to. It's gonna be a tough defensive task ahead of you. At least it would be for me. Although actually with king h6 and rook c6, and actually you're losing this pawn. Huh. Okay, I take that back. Maybe it's not so hard after king e4. How do you defend this pawn? Because white's starting rook e7. Rook e7, and then there's no way to defend this e6 pawn. So black would probably move the rook further away. Wow. Okay, anyways. So we're going to resume the games at 8:02. I'm gonna use this time to get some drink some water and all that stuff, and we'll put this on the waiting screen, and we will see you guys back here at 8:02 when the games resume. Alrighty, everyone, we are back with the second time.
Nathan, for some reason the second time control.
Alrighty, we are back. We had a little bit of technical difficulties there for a second. We should be back though. Players should be starting their games for the second time control any second now. And let's load here. And looks like, yep, up their games. And let me update this on my end for this. Get the new timer up here. And alrighty, looks like they're repeating one of their first lines they played. Let me actually go. Let me instant rewind this. Instant rewind this. Yes, Jeffrey's playing Knight of 3 D4 again, and they're doing the same Slav. I guess Cory's playing the G6 Slav, and the whole G4 line. Yeah, so Jeffrey played it in game one. It didn't work out, but Jeffrey got a great position, borderline winning, but wasn't able to convert it. And now Jeffrey's returning to it in the 3+1 portion. So I assume he reviewed some lines maybe and is just making sure that it's all set to go. And yeah, so he's playing this now. Alrighty, so oh, there's more moves. Rook c8. It didn't end. Okay, this is the current position. And yeah, this pawn is hard to defend. And uh, black doesn't have to worry too much about the open G file because the white side is also. Definitely did find a way to defend it. And in this case, this is interesting. Cory did not defend. Cory didn't defend the F pawn. And instead of him having doubled pawns, Jeffrey has the doubled pawns. And actually, he's starting to tripled pawns. That would be cool. That tripled isolated pawns would be a sight to see. But Jeffrey naturally does not want that. He does not want that at all. And this is a very interesting position. Not sure what to think about it. Bishop f6 makes a lot of sense to make way for the rooks. And wow, knight g7. And black is going to try to win back this pawn. And it's just going to be an equalish position. Wait, doesn't it? Oh, wait, no, there's a bishop here. I was like, doesn't it just blunder a pawn? No. No, it does not. That being said, you could just take. I think taking is bad. You can take this pawn and attacking the queen. And but this knight is kind of annoying. Like if you ever do move this rook, then and that's why he opts. Cory opts to just what? You have a knight on g6 or g7 and you don't take on f5. This is wild. I don't understand thought process. Pawn on f6 seems really strong, but maybe not. Oh, the d5 pawn was simply hanging. I guess that's why. Because if you take on d5 immediately or f5 immediately, then after trading this pawn hangs. And I can definitely understand why he did what he did now. E4, I don't understand e4. I don't. Because, yeah, you just take the pawn. Oh, this diagonal's open now. This could be a bit dangerous. But luckily the knight on c6 guards the e5 square. So it's not super easy for white to exploit this diagonal. Because if you can control this diagonal, force the king here, and then play rook g1, then you just win. Like you just won the game. But it doesn't look so easy. It doesn't look so easy to take advantage of. So easy, not so easy. And and f6 here. F6. Makes sense because Corey moved his knight away off this diagonal, but he still has f6. Okay. Whoa, that's an Uno reverse. that's an Uno reverse. Like my diagonal's weak. No, your diagonal's weak. Calling ambulance, but not for me. And trade alert, and Corey gets his rook on the 7th. But he's not able to take advantage of it. Very nice. Everything's well defended by each player, and Corey is low on time, but doesn't look super easy for Jeffrey to make progress here. Maybe we want to put a knight movement at some point. Knight d4 wouldn't do anything though. Sure. And you put the other rook here now and play. Okay, I mean b6 first. And yeah, Corey is pretty low on time, but the position's is a simple-ish endgame. So I don't feel like Corey's in too much trouble here. And he's defending everything. Hard for Jeffrey to make progress here. f4, wow, a nice move. And maybe you can even infiltrate here. Or I'm not sure what that move does. How Corey is bringing in the house. He's like, I have low time. I don't care. I'm gonna kill you. Not literally. And oh no, that doesn't work. That's stupid because you lose a knight. No, he flagged. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Flagged. That 1 second increment isn't very much. Oh man, that's painful. That's painful. That's painful. That's. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. In this position though, Jeffrey is up a pawn. And has a rock solid position with the pawns, with all these pawns like this. Very rock solid position. And oh, thank you, Shark Mate, rating with the party of 4. For anyone who doesn't know, this is the last semifinals match of the PA Collegiate Speed Chess Championship. Here we have two 2,500, 2,600 ish rated players. playing a speed chess match. So this is the 3+1 portion. This is the 3+1 portion that they're playing now, and currently Jeffrey, Wikipedia 1288, he is a student from Temple University, and he is up 2 points against Cory Ives from University of Pittsburgh, a PhD student from the University of Pittsburgh. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. And Jeffrey and Cory had a very heartbreaking flag in the last game. And so Jeffrey's doing a really great job of putting pressure on the clock. Objectively on the board, Jeffrey is not um, not converting as well as he would like, but he's still doing very, very well, as you can tell by the match score. And yeah, we had 20 minutes left of the first time control, or the second time control, I mean. And yeah, relatively balanced position here. Cory's got the gun pointed, but actually, I said relatively balanced. At the same time, though, Cory is just down a pawn. So actually, I would not be too optimistic here for Cory unless he can generate something. And Black's position is just rock solid here, and Cory is once again suffering in a worse position. Maybe he's suffering. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's suffering or not, but still uncomfortable. There is this move Rook A4, which is kind of interesting. And after Rook C5, you have Rook C1. So I think this is what Cory is calculating here. Whether doing all that is worth it or not. And he's starting with Rook C1, so now Rook A4 traps the queen. That's his idea. Wow, that's a neat idea. That's a neat idea for sure. Um, and so let me do a count here. So material is equal, but Jeffrey has a rook, a knight, and a pawn for it, which is pretty wild. Um, so huge imbalance here, but it's really hard to play for both sides. But I would say actually probably it's easier for the side with the rooks and the knights to play because those rooks are really well coordinated on the d file here. You don't have much to complain about. And yeah, Jeffrey's doing work with his knights. And Cory really can't do much other than just sit there and wait. Like, what can Cory do in the meantime? Like, legitimately, like, what can he do? I really don't know. He's maneuvering, putting pieces on different squares, but what really do here? What really do? So he's being patient. That's what he's doing. Being patient. Um, yeah, I gotta be careful of knight hopping into f3 and forking pieces, but right now there's no forks. And king g2, so now back to c2 and d2 and not have to worry about a knight going to d4 and knight f3 forking king and rook potentially. And okay, that's a pawn sacrifice. Was that good? Yeah. Now he's down a point of material now for g5. And the rooks are doubled on the d file, but what if Jeffrey like puts both rooks and infiltrates on the queen side? This doesn't look that easy, actually. And oh my gosh, the superfluous knights rerouting like that, super annoying from what it looks like. And yeah, what is there to do as what? Wow. Yeah, no, that's bold. That's bold. Um Very scary play. On the white side, for sure. And queen b4. Oh no, okay. Slow and steady. Slow and steady here. Rook d7. There's not many moves for Cory to play, and it's very uncomfortable. And Jeffrey can play this forever. Jeffrey can play this forever. So not very fun. Not very fun at all. And Cory found his shuffling method. And wow, Jeffrey is happy to repeat. Jeffrey's like, I got a 2-point lead. I don't need to push. I don't need to push. I got a 2-point lead. And he's not concerned. He is not concerned at all. Wow. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna instant rewind this. So okay, so this was wow, h4, h5. Wow. Okay. And so Jeffrey's just not castling. I guess he could. I guess he could. He still could if he wanted to. Oh my gosh. But the attack hasn't really broken through on the king side. This pawn on h6 does look like a nuisance though, but there's no attack. Bishop is under attack. This pawn. I mean that. Oh, does the knight not get out? No, the knight has to get out, right? Oh, knight 93 again. Yep, attacking the rook. No attack on the king side, and Cory is up a pawn. I like Cory's chances. My man is up a pawn. I like it when I'm up a pawn. And maybe knight b4 for Cory next. Maybe. e6. Not sure what e6 does. I guess it's to disincentivize f5. I guess is the idea. Yeah, I would have rather played knight b4, tickling the rook, and then rook c1 to keep defense of the c3 knight. But I guess it doesn't really amount to that much. Maybe put the other rook on the file. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the best way was to proceed, but ended up okay, I guess. But this bishop, well, not okay. This bishop is in jail. This bishop has committed lots of crimes against humanity with how much it's in jail. So, but it is what it is, I guess. And oh my gosh, the knight's going to d6, and you really want this bishop to be on f8. You could just teleport to f8 here. Black is not doing too bad, but it cannot teleport, which is bad for Cory in this case. And yeah, no, this is uncomfortable. This is very uncomfortable. b6 might be necessary. b6 to guard the knight. Oh, but then the a pawn drops. No, this is uncomfortable. This is very uncomfortable. And so far, Jeffrey has been the faster player here. I'm just not sure if Cory has better chances in the 1+1 than the 3+1 here. So we got to see Cory fighting back at some point. But Cory has just been getting bad position after bad position. Oh, the a6 pawn is not hanging because knight takes a7. Knight takes a6. I mean, I cannot draw arrows for the life of me. And okay, f8. And the rook, this gets in. Knight's hanging, you have to go back, right? Cory's going in for a think here. sure the best way to proceed. E3? Now Cory's just down a pawn? And his bishop? What? Wait. Wait. Is this? No way. F6? Cory's gonna play F6? And oh my god. Bishop guards everything. And actually, Bishop D2 is a threat. Wait, Cory might win this. Cory actually might win this game. In a crazy turn of events. Wait, you can just waka, and then go back. Oh my god. Cory's just up 2 pawns and 2 connected passed pawns. What can Jeffrey do here? This is not so clear. This is not so clear. And Jeffrey just resigns. Cory fights back from a terrible position. That was a terrible position. And Cory got back. That's amazing. That was amazing. I cannot believe that. I guess it was Jeffrey trading rooks there, confident that he has better king activity. He's up a pawn, and there's no risk. No, huge risk in that position. Only black was better there, which is a wild turn of events. Very sad if you're a Jeffrey fan for him to lose that. But if you're a Jeffrey fan, at the very least, Jeffrey is still up 1 point in the match with a lot more games to go. And so far, Cory has been the slower player, but maybe not by much. Maybe not by much. So it's unclear yet so far. So we see the Queen's Gambit accepted. And a very, I guess this is no, oh my god, C6. Ugh, that's so ugly, man. Do you have to play C6? You have to? Like, okay, I guess the idea is you're eventually going to go C5 at some point. Although, no, you're not going to go C5. You just played C6 right now. I don't know, man. I don't understand. Maybe after castling, you can go C5 at some point. It just looks so ugly. These positions always look so ugly to me. And wow, this knight on b1 going to d2 and c4. That makes sense. Makes sense. The knight can go there and maybe hop around some more. And maybe white is going to try to fight for the e5 square. But black does have very easy moves. The queen on f1 is not really impressing anybody, but maybe it is. Not me. Not impressing me. So it definitely feels like a... Oh, that pawn was just hanging. I did not realize that pawn was just hanging. You win the bishop pair. Yay, bishop pair! I don't know anything else more than that, though. Not sure. Not sure. Oh, you did it. You won the bishop pair. And you're threatening to, like, take, and then, like, take or something like that. That cannot be good. I don't understand that move. So now the knight's pinned because of the knight moves, then the f7 pawn hangs. This doesn't look very good. Wait, this looks... Queen c2? I guess you want to take on f6. That's the idea? You want to take on f6? That's the idea of queen c4? Oh my god, what? c4? That's explosive. This is a bit scary, but it's actually not super easy. Yeah, this position does kind of look pretty unclear. Yeah, I don't see... Yeah, this pawn could be... That's not super... No, it's not. It's not easy at all. Wow. Okay. 90, 94. Okay. I guess. Oh my gosh! Wait, Jeffrey's up 2 pawns now. I always forget that he's a. And yeah, you can't take this pawn because of your bishop hanging. Kind of uncomfortable here. Maybe b3 is necessary. b3 and then c3 would happen probably. Oh no, he played that instead, which also makes sense. Wait, okay, rook takes d5 almost works because of knight d7, but the other knight can take. And once again, Jeffrey just up 2 pawns once again. Knight b3 works again. If you want to play it, knight b3 works again. Um, and okay, yeah, Korea is just suffering there a bit. Kind of have to just take the knight, right? Oh, okay. that also makes sense. Take the knight, take the. Well, that's a bit scary. Now you definitely have to take the knight. 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes left of the second time control here. Okay, looks like Jeffy might be hanging on to his 2 point pawn advantage. Very unpleasant position, to say the least. Also, just losing because you have your because Jeffrey has 2 connected passers on the A and B files. So definitely losing, definitely losing. I just don't even know where you start to come up with any sort of counterplay. Of course, you traded queens. Good move. And Cory is not the type of person to give up. Although, there really is not much to do in this. A5, A3, yeah. Much to do at all. As long as Jeffrey doesn't rush, he's got all the time in the world. What knight b5? Yeah. Oh man. Yep. Just resign. Not much to do there. Okay. One more game of this third time control. Alrighty. Let's see it. So can Cory enter the bull portion only a deficit of 1, or can Jeffrey expand his lead to 3 and cement his likeliness to win this match? That is the question. That is the question indeed. Okay. What is happening? Cory has 10 more seconds than he started with. Oh my gosh. What? Is this like some sort of theory? No, it can't be. But maybe Cory's deciding he has to play quicker and that he's not playing quick enough. I'm not sure. But man, very, 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 very fast moves from Cory here. A7, an interesting way to proceed here. Interesting move by Jeffrey too, pinning the knight to the king here. And wow, the move rook a7 and rook a7, rook f7, very nice, very fancy way to double, very fancy way to double. Okay, a4. Um, seems weird to do in front of your own king. Seems weird to do. This d6 pawn is perpetually weak. This e4 pawn is perpetually weak. A4 pawn, if we go into an endgame, that's going to be an easy target as well. And interesting, giving up your dark square bishop. That feels so weird though. Rook f7, I imagine? Not sure. Oh no, you lose a d6 pawn. That's the point. That's the point. And 40 seconds left of the second time control. It's wow. Wow, okay. Wow. Yeah, this is this is interesting. So the idea is you're going to a queen ending. No, we're not going to the queen ending. Two connected passers. Wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. This bishop on d3 is not impressing anybody. Okay, no infiltration. Maybe infiltration after the queen moves here. Queen can get in. Wow, rook f7 to try to like, hey, I'm gonna trade off rooks. And who's better? What's happening? I don't know. What a huge decision to make. What a huge decision to make. Queen d7 here. Not sure what to think. Yeah, it's preventing g4. What? That's nuts, man. I don't even know who's the queen. Oh, I see. The idea of the queen on e5 is that it guards this b8 square as well. Wait. Wasn't the whole point of the queen on e5 to guard this square? Oh, I see. b7 and check. But I don't understand though. I don't understand. I thought his queen was good on that square. Maybe the idea is like b6 check, king over, and then like knight d7. Maybe that's the idea. You might be able to sacrifice. Huh. And oh my gosh, yeah, push your own pawn. Wow. No. You can't stop the pawn. Okay, wait. Alrighty. Looks like the players are utilizing their break, utilizing their 5-minute break. And so we will resume the games at 8:42. And yeah, it's a 1-point game, a 1-point match so far. This is the tightest we've ever seen. Um, Actually, that's a lie. The Michael Romero versus Alan Hu match, very, very close match. Very, very close. It was super exciting. This one is very, very exciting too. Very, very close. So we shall see how this all shapes up. I have no idea what's going to happen. So far, Jeffrey has had more good positions, but slipping up near the end there. But I don't know. It's very close. Too close to call. We will go to our rating screen, and we will be back at 8:42 with the third time control. Alrighty, everyone, we are back with the last portion of the uh, last semifinals match of the 2025 PA Collegiate Speed Chess Championship, and the players are zooming off to a quick start here. Let me instant rewind here. We have another Sicilian, and in this case, Jeffrey did not play Bishop B5 and take on C6. He played Knight F3 and went for a more traditional system. I guess it's like a dragon. And we've now caught up to the players, and this is what the position is right now. Currently, Cory has his big black center here, and this knight on G, excuse me, this knight on G3 does not look well placed. So this is a great position for Cory. Look at the center and look at the quality of placement of the pieces here for Cory versus Jeffrey here. This is amazing to see. Okay, Queen F4. The queen was dancing around a lot. Bad position for Jeffrey. Jeffrey has to defend. So it's not so easy. If you push one of these pawns, well, that not you might lose your advantage. If you push one of your pawns too early, and sure enough, to figure out where to push, when to push, how to push, and interesting. This pawn is actually pinned, so the knight isn't actually threatened. Um, wow, Queen E3. Queen a5, attack the rooks like that. And oh my gosh! That was a queen hang. Oh no. Oh no. That could not. Oh no. Oh, that was painful. Oh, dude. Okay. Brush it off. Brush it off. Cory's brushing it off. That's totally fine. Man. Oh, dude. Felt that. I felt that so bad. Oh, man. Okay, but once again, Cory has a decent position here. Has a lot of space in the center. Jeffrey's got the classic C6, E6, rock solid setup. So it's not so easy. But hey, Cory's got two good bishops on an open-ish board. What more could you ask for? Um, yeah, this is a pretty decent position for Cory here. I guess he's gonna try to double up and eventually try to play for D5. As I guess my wow. That's some high level stuff there. I didn't even understand what just happened. He sacrificed a pawn to play c5 and then win another pawn. But now he lost a pawn because of this pin. But now he has this passed pawn that's really close to promotion. C7? No, better. Or worse. Oh, the pawn's pinned. Oh my gosh. The pawn's pinned. Oh my gosh. Oh, he won it back. He won a game back. Just like that. Holy cow, dude. This match is so close. It's on a knife's edge. Oh man. If they are even after when the time control ends, they play one more blitz game. If that is a draw, then they have another optional 5-minute break, and then they play another 4 games of bullets. Sorry, did I say another blitz game? Another bullet game. So so really, it could go into overtime. With how close this match has been so far, it really could. It really could. And okay, Jeffrey has this nice knight on c5, but it got knocked away. And he has this and Cory has this nice knight on d5 and has activated all of his pieces, and Jeffrey still hasn't castled yet. Okay. There's still this X-ray on with the rook and the knight here. Okay. Now c4 probably a necessary move, but now that's given the knight b4. And oh my gosh, the rook is being attacked. Oh, castling into that is wild. I want to play queen c6, but an f3. And oh my gosh, White's defense is a shoestring. And now going for the dark squares. But was this the best way to play though? Now, yeah, White has this rock solid 3-on-2. Well, this bishop is still bad. This bishop is still bad on this file. And okay, you still can't go queen d6 because of rook d1. So it's hard to make progress here. Hard to make progress. Not so easy. Not so easy. And it's actually pretty solid. Very solid for both players here. Black does have this target on f3, but it's easily defended. White can easily defend it, and wow, Cory going for some counterplay on the queen side here, taking these pawns. Very exciting stuff. Queen d4. Okay, and you cannot allow that. Wait, how are you supposed to stop this? E5? You have to play e5 maybe? I think you. Wow. Defending everything. King h7. Okay, now Jeffrey's defensive task is easier. Did I say Jeffrey or Cory? I don't even know what I said. But okay. Looks like Cory is out of danger here. And Cory is walking his king? Oh my god! Wait, queen d2 check? Oh no. And Cory loses this game? And it's back to a 2-point deficit? Holy moly, dude. Okay. So back to the queen's gambit accepted. Very, very solid setup. And black going to go for an early c5, maybe? This stuff doesn't make any sense to me. This stuff doesn't make any sense to me. b3. Okay, so c4 can never happen. And that's a pawn. Wait, that is a pawn. But the queen zigzagging in and out, in and out. Not so easy, not so easy. Okay, knight. This is a nice square for the knight, for sure. Maybe knight takes? Bishop takes also makes sense, too. And this extra pawn doesn't look that great. Is it really a strength here? Maybe knight, one of the knights to e5, maybe. Okay. The queen's not trapped, is it? Oh my god, the queen's trapped. Wow. Jeffrey, quick with the tactics. Queen was trapped. And Jeffrey's trying, or Cory's trying to make something happen here. But the king looks so weak. You don't have enough time. And that's just mate. Wow. Jeffrey, 3-point lead. It is slipping out of Cory's hands here. This looks like a loss for Cory, though. And it's tough. It's tough. Looks like they're playing some Sicilian stuff. Seems like Jeffrey is the one that's switching it up for the most part. And Cory's in must-win situation here, but it's hard to come back from a 3-point deficit with only 5 minutes on the clock here, so we cannot blame him. But he's got to try. He's got to try hard, but doesn't look too good. His chances, I mean. Giving up a pawn? Oh, well now the pawn's defended. Ah, by the rook. This doesn't look too bad. I mean, black has a lot of center pawns. Has a lot of space in the center, but especially with these flank pawns too. Knight b5 does look pretty good though. Oh, wait, he lost a pawn. Ah, that was so fancy. Everything that just happened was so fancy. Practically, black's king feels a bit less safe here. Kind of my first impression. Feels weird to allow black to infiltrate like this, but I guess we're just pushing P. Wow, we got our own pass pawn too. Not so easy. Where is it? And maybe rook c2 next and queen f1. Oh no, it's the a pawn. That's what he was going for. Wow. And it looks like they're liquidating. And Jeffrey doesn't need to win. He needs to stall out the clock. That's all he needs to do. And looks like, yeah, there's no real winning chances here for Cory here. Looks like they're just going to be playing this game for a while. Cory is up a pawn, but I don't think it's enough. Wow. Very fancy way to do that. To reach an equal position. And you're not losing if you do the rook trade, right? Okay, and that's it. 2.5 minutes left. Out of the realm for Cory. It is out of the realm for Cory. He thought that this was an absolutely great match here. Jeffrey having those back-to-back key wins there to keep this whole thing together. Wow. I gotta give everyone credit, give all the players credit, man, for a really, really great, entertaining match. It was wild. It was wild for sure. Okay. This game is interesting. I don't know what to think about it. It's very symmetrical. And once again, black has a very solid setup. And yeah, this pawn structure looks awfully bad, especially with this bishop. But it's not so bad. And Jeffrey's saying, yeah, I want to make it bad. I want to make it bad for you. Like, once you trade off queens, you're going to be suffering forever. And that's just a fork. Now the pawn's gone. A fork of pawns, I should say. It's not so easy. Not so easy at all. And yeah, it looks like Jeffrey has a lot of momentum here. A lot of momentum, but yeah, but Cory's still fighting back though. H4 seems necessary. Or do you just take the pawn away? And wow, oh my gosh, the pawn on c6 restricting the knight so. And wow, really great play by Jeffrey here. Actually, wow, you found a really nice defensive resource here. Huh, very nice defensive resource. Yeah, taking the e5 pawn and attacking the knight. Very nice. Very nice. Not that, it probably doesn't matter for Jeffrey that much because actually there's only 40 seconds left of the third time control. So, yeah. It's a draw at the very least if Cory wants it. But draw doesn't do anything for him, so it doesn't really matter too much. Oh wait, no, that square was guarded by the queen. Never mind. And few seconds left. I wonder if e5 is ever good. I don't know if that's ever good. Okay, looks like this will be the last game of the third time control. And yep, it's officially the last game. This is officially the last game. And with that, Jeffrey makes it to the finals. He makes it to the finals. And oh my gosh, what is happening here? Both people are pushing their pawns to victory. Okay, but that one's defended, and looks like a bad news bears for Cory. And expected resignation. Actually, no. Wait, hold up. No way. Oh my god. Wait, that's actually wild. Dude, what? Dude, wow. Oh my gosh, dude.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, hello everyone. We are back, and we have the two players with us today. I have Jeffrey here on the top left, and Cory on the top right here. Um, Firstly, I go congratulations, Jeffrey, on the win, and that was a really exciting match. I mean, it was tight the whole way through until the very end in that bullet portion. I guess Jeffrey, I'll go to you first. How were you feeling throughout the match? And yeah, I guess take me through how you're feeling.
Uh, for starters, I was definitely a little bit tired because uh, I I work within the residential life for my college, so I supervise the RAs, and I'm on call right now. So I was playing I was on call during the match. Luckily, no calls happened. So that,
Nice.
but also my sleep last night was utterly destroyed because apparently I had to deal with some incident like early, like 2 in the morning, and then went to bed, and then I woke up because of a fire alarm. Because of course that happens.
That's like a residential dorm life for you.
Yeah, but yeah. Otherwise, I mean, it was not bad. I think my openings were probably not too bad, but like sloppy converting on my end by far.
Yeah, you could definitely say sloppy converting, but also, in my opinion, I mean Corey's defense. I mean, the like resilience too. So maybe it was a combination of both there. But man, I was like the amount of positions Corey that you squeezed out of. I was just like, oh my god, that's crazy. Like it was crazy. And there's a couple more that you could have squeezed out of too, but like due to time, it was an issue too. I guess Corey, I'll head it over to you then. Like, how did you feel throughout the match, and what went right and what went wrong for you today?
Um, well, I don't know. Um, let's see. What went wrong? I think Jeffrey had very good openings. Unfortunately, I'm very one-dimensional in my openings, so like I don't I don't stray too much from the main ones that I play. Um, but yeah, I felt like most of the times I got probably a slightly worse position out of the openings as black, and then I had to try to defend most of the time. Um, and then what went right? I would say maybe again when I did get some of the harder positions, I defended some of them well, I guess. But Jeffrey played very well, so it wasn't easy most of the time.
Ooh. Yeah, I guess like Jeffrey, you played mostly. It was like you were switching between E4 and then like Knight F3, D4 stuff.
Yeah,
What was your thought process behind like when to choose which opening and
uh,
like that type of stuff?
uh, it was for the white side. I was mostly just trying out different stuff. I didn't want to
Hmm.
play C4 because I played one game against Corey in the pool. It was E5, and I did not want. I didn't want to go into the theory there. So I was like, let me just stick with the simple solid stuff that I can blitz out pretty quickly. And then, or if it's E4, try to prep some of it, like different Nightorf lines, anti Sicilians. Surprised we didn't get any like NIMS or QID games, but like,
Hmm.
but
Yeah,
we
I
got.
think we did. I think we did. I think I was white as in an Enzo or something.
Yeah, I think yeah, when I was playing black, yeah, definitely, but now it's like not the other way around. Because we
okay.
mostly when it was 9 F3, we mostly just went into the Grunfeld or like Selector Slav stuff with
Yeah.
C6.
Well, you never played D4. If you had played D4, we would have probably. But
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was you guys. The types of positions you guys were getting were like is a good mix. There was like some definitely like more slower and like more stable positions, and then a decent amount of like other mostly on your side, Jeffrey, of you not castling and like having like an open G file, and I was geeking out. I was like it was nice. It was definitely very exciting, very fun chess for sure.
Mhm.
I guess Jeffrey, I assume you know that Justin won his semifinals
Yeah,
match.
I was watching the match.
Yeah, so I guess how what do you think? What do you think about your last opponent?
Uh, I guess time for part two. I guess because I played him in Liberty Bell.
Oh, did you? Did you actually? Wait,
Yeah.
yeah. How did that game go?
Uh, it was like it was one of the like the faster time control, not the feed rated. It was like the game 60 delay 10, I believe, or delay 5.
Yeah.
It's like one of those like almost faster time controls if you didn't want to play. Because obviously it's not 9 round turn. That's not 9 rounds. So like they're more lenient in the open section for like the faster games the first 2 rounds. So that game, all over the place. Definitely was second guessing on a bunch of them, and then like I didn't calculate all the way in like a +5% and ended up losing. But like it happens. I was also
Mm.
rusty, so like I don't blame it. It's like
Well, yeah, you don't play much classical tournaments at all. Well, neither of you guys do. Neither of you guys do very often. But okay, yeah, great. Well, I don't have too many like questions in terms of like position specific or anything. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have more questions for each other or anything like that. But if you guys don't, I'm happy to call it a night. It's been a late night on a Saturday. We can all go back to our to our lives, I guess.
Wait, Corey, did you like try any like different lines, like prep lines, or just like to just try to deviate from what you normally played?
no, I did not. I just played normal.
Cool. Okay.
Did
Well,
you
I
prepare any lines? I'm curious.
Uh, Mostly with black. White, I didn't really care too much. Black, mostly I'd say if it was more solid, I'd say I was trying like different stuff, or try to go for like simple solid stuff. Honestly, I was mostly prepping the Nimzo, but I was like, choosing between like 3 different options in the castle line. So like, Like you've probably seen me play 2 of them, like D5, B5, and then I was thinking B6, but I was like, I'll maybe push a couple of stuff. I'll try it out. And then we both avoided the one QJA line that like where I attacked the B pawn.
Okay, yeah.
Instead of like just taking pawn take, bishop, rook take, queen take, bishop b5, and have like a weird bank sort of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was mostly, and then QGD semi-Slav is like, okay, it's probably just going to be exchange, or like I just play simple styles, like knight b7 or whatever.
Yeah, I will say the QGA stuff was a lot more exciting than I thought it would be. like because I always in my head QGA is always like the most boring, nothing happens ever. But you guys actually had some very fun positions.
Well, you can always like transpose a QGA to like a isolated queen pawn a lot of times, and then it does become a lot more exciting because even though it's an isolated queen pawn, like a side will get attacking chances, so it makes it something more interesting.
Yeah, and also I was like, I didn't want to play like the really standard theory that you and the GMs play like all the time, so found something on like chess Twitter from on a like, hey, this Russian GM played this in like some of his online games, and I've been analyzing it with like the correspondence stuff. It's like, this is actually doable. It's like, okay, might as well try it out in Blitz. Can't hurt.
Yeah, nice, very nice, very nice. Okay. Well, I think that's a good place to end it. I guess, Cory, you let me know what account you want me to send the 2-month diamond membership for chess.com to. And Jeffrey, good luck in the finals. Good luck in the finals.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you guys.
See ya.